agencies surrounding.
There's no place to go, but he's going to try and go. There he goes. He's going to go right around the officers. Well, that was attempt number one to stop him. Actually, number two, because the spike strip certainly didn't work.
Getting off of the East Tex Freeway at Kingwood Drive exit, as we saw, they're still really staying close to him, trying to get him to pull over.
Yeah, well, let's see. Oh, okay, all right. Now this is where stupidity really comes into play here. Now he has reversed his position on the feeder, but there are so many officers around him. Ooh, they
finding ways through.
I think they missed a chance. They probably could have put that vehicle right there in front and stopped him, but he is going now the opposite direction on the feeder. He's clearly blocked by all of those other vehicles. No chance. Now he's going into the outlet store, area right there. This is off of Kingwood Boulevard, right there, just off the feeder.
Yeah, this is obviously a spot where we're going to find plenty of other people, plenty of vehicles parked. And so, you certainly hope that people get the word that there's something going down and they need to stay inside and stay safe until this comes to an end, because, the officers are specifically not, engaging him with their vehicles. They're not causing accidents. Yeah. They're just trying to let this peacefully play out. But it also looks like there's some employees out there at this U-Haul location that are probably sort of unaware of what's going on.
There they have. They've come out with, they're trying to open the door now. Well, I'm sure they have. You saw the guns. The guns are drawn right there on that driver. Let's hope that he stops. They have the driver's door open. They're going to probably yank him out at this point. That canopy is sort of in the way. We're not able to get the complete picture, but it looks like this may be over and he doesn't have a chance of taking off once again. Don, are you having a different angle?
Well, the best that we can do right now, because of this canopy that's over the scene here, we're going to come around. And it looks as though they're having a struggle with him.
Sure.
Wow. Got him on the ground now.
Got him on the ground.
This is where the potential impairment probably comes into play, because most people with that many guns on them probably would have popped out of that vehicle, but they literally did have to physically drag him out of that car. And now you can see these officers getting handcuffs on him and making sure that he is not armed, or she. We haven't even gotten a good picture of who this driver is. And again, if you're just joining us, this all started as a traffic stop, but no crime committed to begin with. They had reason to believe that this driver may have been impaired. It looks like this might be a woman, Don?
You can see that vehicle right there. It's a sedan. It's being followed and surrounded by several police officers. It's the Houston police, as well as the county is out there. They have been on this guy for probably the last 10 to 15 minutes or so, and he just does not want to stop. The question is, what is his plan and what does he want to do? I don't know whether we have Don Armstrong and Live in Sky Eye. Not sure who is up there, but once I get word on who is up there, they can give us a little bit further word as well on what's happening.
Don Armstrong.
Don, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Don, yeah, what can you tell us? I mean, as I've been watching this, he's not really going at a super high rate of speed, but he's certainly moving along at a clip that he clearly doesn't want to stop.
No, does not want to stop, and as you can see, the sheriff's car just joined in on this, mainly being chased by HPD. I think that's the way it started. We're coming up here on the Beltway, and as you can see, it looks as though that car is going the speed limit, to be honest with you, Art.
Yeah.
It first was reported as a slow speed chase, but it's neither high nor slow. It looks like it's going the speed limit. We don't know why this car is being stopped or had tried to be stopped, and why they are on the run, but obviously, as you can tell, that they're not pulling over for the number of deputies that are behind them, as well as Houston police officers. This is, as you mentioned, been going on now for about 10, 15 minutes, and at one point, just before you came to us, an HPD car pulled up next to it, and then this particular car, it looks like a silver Volvo, if I'm not mistaken, actually tried to, I wouldn't say sideswipe it, but moved over into the lane that the police car was in, so they backed off. But as you can see, other cars, other police vehicles are up ahead of them and behind them, so they're obviously not going to lose this chase.
If there's anything good to report here, Don, it's certainly that the freeway at this point is open. We're talking about 59 Northeast Harris County. This is the East Tex Freeway. So they're going to be approaching the Beltway, or is that the Beltway? No, that's just one of the ramps for, I think, the HOV, but they're going to be approaching the Beltway. Is that right?
That's correct. And we're going to be coming up on Intercontinental Airport space, so not exactly sure whether they're going to let us transition through the airspace. We're just going to have to wait and see. That's our pilot's job, Randy Hardaway, who's piloting Sky Eye this afternoon.
Okay. You wonder whether he's going to take... You see cars pulled over there, so there must be officers way ahead, sort of clearing the path. And that's always so very dangerous, especially when you get a high-speed chaser, high-speed runner here. He just doesn't want to stop. You know that there are going to be problems. People on and off the freeway... and what they always attempt to do is just try and clear away and make a path for the person so that it doesn't bump into anyone.
Well, it's amazing that at this time of the afternoon, at the beginning of the afternoon rush, that there aren't many other cars on the freeway headed outbound to begin with. So, and based on the speed of the car, you can tell that it's just not a problem. There is somewhat of a backup behind it because it is going slower than the rest of the freeway traffic, because as you know, most of Houston freeway traffic doesn't mind the speed limit anyway. Yeah,
and they just passed the North Beltway, by the way. There's that was all the interchange, which you saw before that as you were on a wide shot. That was the northbound Beltway. So here they continue to move. And if at this point they're going to be reaching Kingwood soon, and who knows how long he's going to stay on this freeway. But he doesn't seem to be interested in making any exit, Don.
Now, it doesn't appear to be. He's over in, looks like lane number 2, the second from the left. And it looks as though that they're headed up to East Texas. I don't know how else to put it. It's amazing that we're doing the speed limit here. I'm not quite sure why they allow this to continue, and why not do the pit maneuver on it. I understand that state law has changed, and in some cases that is allowed now. But it certainly is annoying that all of the traffic is backed up, and this is going to be a scene, as you know, when this finally comes to an end. And it just really puts a crimp in the afternoon drive.
Well, and they certainly had opportunity to do it, Don, as we watched the Houston Police Department as well as the county. They had surrounded this vehicle. They were right there on the side of it. And they could have easily done a pit maneuver because no one was in front. But apparently they just have to be very, very careful, especially at speeds when they're traveling at 60 miles an hour or higher. You could cause a rollover if you're doing a pit maneuver.
And to that point, good afternoon, Don. This is Elisa Rivas here. I'm joining Art Rascone. As you get farther northbound right now, you head toward the river, you head toward Humble, Kingwood, as Art mentioned, and the highway starts to get elevated. So you do worry about causing any kind of a crash and causing some additional damage or injury that might go along with really going off of the freeway because this is such an unpredictable situation.
Right.
Continuing to watch now, we're looking at a sedan, that gray one, silver one, right there in the middle of your screen. It continues to move. They have no intention of stopping. That's a pretty nice Volvo. That has a V6 underneath that has the power to really move, but he's certainly not using that power. I mean, this guy's traveling the speed limit. We don't have any indication as to why he's running, though, right, Don?
No, not as we know so far, Art. It just appears as that we're doing the speed limit in lane number 2, and we are headed northbound, out of town, headed up to East Texas on the East Texas Freeway.
Yeah, I don't know what this guy's thinking. Maybe he just thinks he's just out on a Sunday drive, and he doesn't mean he's not aware of the police around him. But he has to be running for some reason. We don't know why. We're trying to gather that information. As soon as we do, we have our desk here looking into several indications as to why he might be running. There are multiple agencies clearly involved here. Houston Police Department is still all around him, as well as the county. You have the county. Chambers County. Did it start in Chambers County? Is that what we're hearing, Alana?
Yeah, they called and asked for some help from HPD.
Wow. Oh, okay. So if it started in Chambers, that's way south, yeah.
They just passed the park and ride. So they are now passing through Humble, getting up toward Kingwood. If we can see around us, are we seeing other law enforcement agencies like local PDs joining in on this? Are we seeing more law enforcement or just the same ones following this driver?
Well, we did see HPD and Harris County Sheriffs. I don't know whether they have dropped off, and I really don't want to lose sight of the person that is running. But as you can tell, Department of Public Safety is here, not only on the ground, but they're also in the air with us here following above. And one of the things that I did notice just a moment ago, the Department of Public Safety cruiser really flew past this car to try to get ahead of them. One of the issues here is the fact that if they're not going to do the pit maneuver, so are they going to place out spike strips? Well, if that's the case, they're going to have to clear the freeway so that officer can go ahead and lay out spike strips and somehow maneuver all of the traffic into one area where not everybody gets affected by the spike strips and only the person that's being pursued.